Alright, so let's start with number 1. A bakery made 9 cakes using 3 bags of flour. The bakery uses the same relationships of cakes made and the amount of flour used to make all of their cakes. Which table of values shows the relationship between the number of cakes the bakery makes to the number of bags of flour? So here the ratio would be cakes to flour. And that ratio is essentially 9 to 3. If you want to simplify that and know how many cakes we can make with 1 bag of flour, we just divide both sides by 3. And they're both divisible by 3, so this will make it easy. So we have 3 to 1. If we check before we even simplified the ratio, we could already tell that we could eliminate option A, because it's saying that we have 9 bags of flour for every 3 cakes, and that is incorrect. And then the same thing for option D. After we already simplified our answer, we know that C is also incorrect because it's saying when we have 1 bag of flour, we make 7 cakes, which isn't the case because of the ratio. B is our correct answer. Alright, so for number 2, Arnold's entire workout consisted of 10 minutes of warm-up exercises, 25 minutes of lifting weights, and 15 minutes on the treadmill. We want to know what the ratio is of the number of minutes he lifted weights to the number of minutes of his entire workout. So we want to know, we start with our weights number, and then we go to the total workout. In this case, he lifted for 25 minutes, as you can see in the problem. And then to find the total amount he worked out the entire time, we would just do 10 because of the warm-up, 25 because that's how much he lifted, and then 15 minutes on the treadmill. If we add all of those together, that gives us 50. So our ratio right now is 25 to 50. If we simplify this, we know that both are divisible by 5. I'm sorry, that's my pizza being done. And so 25 divided by 5 is 5. And then 50 divided by 5 is 10. Once again, if we divide by 5, because they're both divisible by 5, we get our ratio to be 1 half, because 10 divided by 5 is 2. And don't forget that, and then that would be our option B. Alright, and now for number 3. The water level in an ocean bay changes at an average rate of 3 meters per hour. So that's very important to know. At this rate, how many hours would it take for the water level to change 12 meters? So first we know our ratio is that we have 3 to 1. If I went twice as much, then I would have 6. So essentially, to get from 1 to 3, we just multiply by 3. So, and then the same thing goes here. You can see they have a relationship. 2 times 3 equals 6. So to find our answer, we would just do what the opposite of multiplying by 3 is, because we want to know how many hours it would take to get to 12 meters. And so the opposite of multiplying is dividing. So we would just divide by 3. And we get 4. Our answer is C. Next, for number 4, once again, on 4 I made a mistake. This option C should say 1 to 3, not 2 to 3. So Ms. Meister's class has 24 students. There are 18 students in the class who study Spanish, and the other students study French. In Ms. Meister's class, which of the following is the ratio of students who study French to the students who study Spanish? So we want to know French to Spanish. If we already know that our Spanish number is 18. Our total was 24. So to get our French students, assuming that no one else were studying any other languages, we do 24 minus 18, which is 6. So we know that 6 students study French. 6 to 18 is not simplified. As you can see, all of these options are simplified. So what we would have to do is simplify it. A quick way we can do to simplify is just divide both sides by 2 because I know they're both divisible by 2. And then I would get 3/9. 3 and 9 have the same factor of 3, so I can divide both by 3. And I would get 1/3. Our answer is C, 1/3. Alright, so for number 5, a baker sells 5 apple muffins for every 2 bran muffins sold. Which table shows this ratio? So before we even go anywhere, we know that our ratio is 5 to 2. If I doubled this, so multiply both sides by 2, I know that for every 10 muffins, I would sell 4. If I did it again, I know that when I had 8 bran muffins sold, I would have 20 apple muffins sold. As you can see, we can already start eliminating some answers. Here, when we have 20 apples for A, the correct answer should be 8. So A is not correct. And then 4 here, when we have 4 brands here, it says we have 20 here, but that's incorrect because that does not equal 10. So C is incorrect as well. And then D is incorrect because when we have 20 apples sold, apple muffins sold, we actually have 8, and that does not equal 22. So B is our correct answer.